This is the third video in my web series discussing how you're using BIM 360 in a distributed environment team with each team using different authoring tools. So here, up to here, I've showed you how you can upload the models from each of the sites and also interact with that model by just orbiting, viewing, doing some distances, as well as seeing the rich data in Navisworks, in BIM 360 Glue web app, as well as the iPad app. So now this video I want to focus a little bit more on the communication between all the sites, and I talk about a little bit about the asynchronous and synchronous. So if we look at the first portion I'm going to talk about is views. So this is a very easy way of sharing information. If there's a particular problem area of the project and you want to zoom into that location and create a view so you can communicate that with the other team. So it becomes relatively easy if you actually just find the area that you want to communicate with the other team. Say we want, this is something wrong with this closet. You would select it, you would, get your view the way that you want. You go to add view, and so here you get to specify if you want it, is if it's project wide or if it's just for you, this view, but in this case I want it for the whole project so other people can see it, as well as what I can communicate. So this time I can send a notification to someone if I want to send a notification to a specific person, but also to note that depending on my user permissions I set up initially, so they can get a notification right away. So there's pretty much easy on a way to communicate it that way. Another way that you want to communicate is doing more of a section. So you want to take out a portion of the model. So if you create a new section, this will be similar to what I did before. I'll do the front. So we'll push this back to a particular area that I want here, and say there's gonna zoom into something here, and so there's a particular problem in this area. So save. This is a section view, and again for my whole project. So relatively quickly to create these shared views, and I want to switch right over to my iPad app just to kind of show you how asynchronous or even synchronous this communication could be. So this is my model. I already had it open when we started adding those views or those sections and views. So if I go to my views right now, you'll notice that it's not loaded. But if I just refresh, so if I get out and get back in, and then as it's loading, I'll just go to my views. You'll see that it has my two shared views. So if I go to my closet, you see that it has my closet view here. So as well as I have my section view. So it becomes a pretty good way if you want to share with someone a particular area that you're focusing on that you don't really understand, or you need more detail or explanation. You can easily create a view to share it with. I'm going to go back to my web app. So the next type of communication is a markup. So say for example, go to the markups here, and this gives a little bit more information. It's similar to a view. It remembers all the attribute data that you've set up. So if you have a section, if you have your coloring, all that stuff gets remembered. So if we find a particular location, say we don't like the positioning of this, we can quickly go add, you have your different geometric options here, from lines. You can even write some text, and I'll actually say this is from my web app. You can change colors from different people. It defaults to the color that is associated with that person, and again, that goes from your permissions of that project. So once I click save, it'll come up in my markup. So if we switch here to my iPad, and we now go to markups and push down to reload, we'll see that it comes in right away. So if I select on this markup, I will see exactly what was added in my web app. And vice versa, if I find something else here, say if I want to, let's see here, so I don't like the position of that. I can create my own markup here. Doesn't really show very well with the green. Let's change it to black. And I'll just go over top of it. Add some text. iPad. And click save. And as well, again, I can email that, but usually the right people will be emailed on those notifications. So if I go back to my web app, and to refresh this, I just have to refresh the model, it'll refresh the data, and I'll have my markup too, which is my iPad markup. So it becomes a pretty good way of actually communicating with your team. The notifications will go out. You can do this synchronously, you can do this asynchronously, so if someone's on the phone, or if you're doing this in a remote session, when you're actually making changes to the model, everyone can see that instantaneously. So another one thing I want to talk about before I leave here is that the activities, is that you can always see the activities that what goes on into this project. So you, so for example, I have all these markups that we're creating. I created a section. Obviously, I'm the only one in this project currently. So, and you can click any one of these, and it'll take you to the markup review. So it's a good way to see what is actually going on and who's actually doing what in what project. So the last form of communication I'm going to save for another post, because it deserves a separate post just by itself, and that's about clashes and interferences, and how that can actually you can share information, communicate, collaborate on that from all three of the different applications.